Hello and thanks for joining me for some more X4 Foundations, where we are building up a trade corporation the lazy way. By that I mean we're doing the least amount of personal piloting as I can. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a little bit more of an expansion on our station. I'm going to head over to the Traders Corner. So pretty much any station, including our own, if it's got a dock, it should have a Traders Corner as well. So in the last episode, I showed you how I've got my ship set up to collect all of this stuff, which we used some of to research our setter, and we used some of it. There's our setter there. And we use some of it to get hold of the second Hyperion ship. The rest of it we're just going to sell. We're going to craft some of it up. So we'll use the crafting bench here. I'm not going to worry too much about contraband yet until we unlock the black market traders. But I'm going to craft up all this stuff. These spacesuit EMPs, they're a decent amount of cash to sell. So we're going to craft everything we've got there. We are able to sell the caviar here, I believe, even though it is illegal. Alright, let's just craft it all. Craft whatever we can. All of that. And that. Hey. And now we're just going to sell stuff over here.
Here you go.
And we've got all this excess stuff that didn't have enough other ingredients to mix with it to make stuff. We're just going to sell everything. We've still got our ship set up to collect more, and they will continue to do so. Some of this stuff we could keep for additional crafting and for some delivery missions. I'm not going to worry about that at this stage. We will sell all of these spacesuit bombs and spacesuit EMPs. I will get myself the upgrade there for the thrusters. I'm going to keep the seminars and we'll sell everything else. There's the caviar. And once again, all of this stuff. We'll sell all that. Seeing as we have... I don't know that we need these for anything else now that we've researched setter. And whatever. Some of these other things could be used for some delivery missions if we wanted to. But for now, that's going to bring our money up to about 16 mil.
Good profit to you.
Now I'm going to hit Shift D. It's going to take me back to my docked ship here. The Perseus. And we're going to set a course over here in a Missouri 4 to the trading station where we're going to speak to the representative, buy some blueprints.
Can I help?
And I know we could research and scan and steal blueprints. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Alright, let's look at... Actually, what I will do, I'm going to go into our research. And I'm going to increase our teleportation
I will need
range.
some materials to get started.
So let's go into our logical overview here. Alright. I don't want to be buying energy cells. We are creating our own. I'm going to put a limit in here though. So we're going to keep 10,000. So we've got plenty for our research, and so we are producing our own energy cells, which is why I'm not wanting to buy any. The rest of these will get bought. We need to pop some cash in there. And so we started off this station just buying and selling stuff, and then we got our energy cell production. So if you're interested in any of that and how we started, there will be a link to the playlist in the description. We want to probably take some of these guys. Most of these guys are all doing advanced auto trading. I'm going to get them trading for the station.
Entering system. Nobilious fortune.
So let's just
Entering
hook all
system.
those guys
IS
up.
Mists.
Let's. And they might all possibly run out of work over there until we do have our new production up and running. Actually, I'm gonna get this guy. So these guys, well, we've got our SE, which is a mining
Entering
ship,
system.
but it also has
Retribution.
container storage. So I've just been using it as a trader. We will be using that to mine though. We've had this guy just auto mining and selling.
Entering system. Trinity Sanctum.
But he's been doing that over here near these ice refineries. I'm going to get him to drop down a resource probe closer
Entering system. Right promise.
closer to our base. Let's see. Okay, so these guys are the ones collecting all of our bits and pieces that we're selling. So I went over these in the last episode. They are set up on repeat orders to attack targets and collect drops. Alright. Let's have a look now at how far away we are. We're almost there. A little bit to go, but I'll spare you the rest of the trip and I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so we're coming into dock here at the Talati trade station where the faction representative is. And we are just going to go down here and go to the representative's office. And we'll buy a couple of blueprints.
Greeting. It's an honor to see you here.
Okay, so let's see. Alright. So I think I'm going to go for refined metal production. And I think we're going to get water production. We will probably want some better storage. We're going to need solid storage for the ice and the ore that we're going to be mining. And at the moment we only have a small container storage, so I'm going to get a large one. And also want a better dock. So at the moment we've only got a 1x6 basic dock. We do have a pier blueprint, but I want to get a 3x6 dock. So if you're not sure what this means, it means that this dock has enough room for 1 medium ship and 6 small, whereas these ones have room for 3 medium ships and 6 small. And there's not a lot of difference between the price of the luxury versus the basic. I don't know if it has any impact in the game. If you do know, if there is really any difference other than visual between the basic and the luxury and the standard, then let me know in the comments. But there's not a lot of price difference there, so I'm just going to get the luxury one. And that will probably do us.
Good profit
So I'll
to
hit
you.
Shift D again, we'll go back to our ship. And I think what I'm going to do is we'll go dock on the Hyperion over there.
Can I help?
Alright, so now into our station.
Found something out here.
Alright, you can attempt to collect it, that's fine. Alright, so let's just check our logical overview here. Let's top up some cash in there. See how we're going over there. Okay, so they're bringing in stuff for our research here and here. Alright, so let's go into the station configuration. Alright, now the stuff that we place down first is going to get built in the order that we place it down. So I'm going to start off with one of these over here. This little cross connector. And I'm going to start off with this solid storage straight away, so that's the first thing that gets built. And that'll mean we can get our mining ships working straight away. As soon as that's built, I'm going to pop that there. Pop the container storage over here. Just want to spin that around. Okay. I think I will get an extra solar panel or energy cell production going here. We're going to be using more energy cells, and you can never have too many. We can sell off the excess, so that's fine. We'll get a dock going over here, so we've got our little 1x6 there. Just going to whack our 3x6 on the end of that. Put down the pier there and spin it. Then we can bring it across, pop it on there. Alright, back to the other modules. Grab one of these vertical ones and stick it down under there. Grab one of these cross ones, stick it down there. Just going to rotate that a little bit. Grab another vertical one and pop that on the bottom. Alright, that should do. Okay, so we'll start off with water production. And nothing produces water like a big penis-shaped object.
Entering system. Profit
Let's
center
spin this
alpha.
around. Let me see. Turn it around like that. Should be able to snap it on there. Alright. We'll grab meat production.
Entering system. Silent
Let's-
witness.
No. Let's right click and get out of that. Meat production. Let's pop that down here and
Entering system. A
Spin that
Pigboss
around.
choice.
pop that in there. And finally our metal production. see.
Entering system. Argon Prime.
Try and spin that around a little bit. Alright.
Entering system.
Snap that in behind
Second
there.
Contact.
That should do. Alright, so I think that's... Oops. I think that's everything I want. Let's hit confirm. Okay. We've got our prices down here set to 60%. We're going to go into the energy cells here. Untick that. Put that on my own trade rule. So if you hit this pencil here, you can create your own trade rules. This is just one that I've created that it restricts all factions except for our own. So I'll just tick that and then removed our own faction out of there. So we're only going to buy those from ourselves. So now we just need to pump some money in there and assign a builder. I'm just going to zoom out here. There we go, that one will do. Select that. Alright. Now let's see what's going on over here. Okay, we should be fine. Alright. So we are docked now on the Hyperion. So we're just going to grab his inventory there. We are going to teleport to our Odysseus.
Can I help?
Gonna grab his inventory. And then we'll go to our second Hyperion. And we'll grab his inventory. Yeah. Did we take any damage on the Perseus? Doesn't look like it. Alright. So we're going to teleport back to the Perseus. Now once we've finished doing this research, we should be able to
Perseus.
we should be able to teleport directly from our HQ to these guys instead of flying. We'll head back home.
Docking soon. Can I help?
Okay, let's have a look here.
Requesting immediate backup.
Why are you shooting me?
Oh, I think we should be fast enough and those guys should be busy enough to let us get through the gate. Should be fine.
Entering system. True sight.
Alright. So I think we'll grab a couple of these guys and we'll put them onto trading for the build storage.
Entering system. Fully
Let's
vision.
see. And let's have a look here. Alright, so we've got some stuff coming
Entering
in.
system. Pontifex's claim. Entering system. Highest mists.
Alright, so that should get done. Let's see. Alright, we're waiting for that to come in. That's a little way away. That's fine. Bit of a graphics glitch out there. Alright, so now basically all we've got to do is wait. If we go in here, we can see all the things that are going to be built have this percentage sign. These are the ones that are going to be started, so it's going to be this one. It's going to be the first one that gets done. Once we've got enough materials come in, and once the building ship arrives. So it's just a matter of waiting for the moment. So what I'll do is I'll see you in a moment when some of that stuff begins. Okay, so I'm back at headquarters. I'm just going to head to personal office here. Take a seat. I'm going to get my Perseus to work. You can just trade for the station, I guess. Alright, so let's go into the logical overview here. Alright, so we're not going to be able to do anything with this or this until we've built our solid storage. We've got all these for our research. Still waiting for that stuff to come in. That's still a little way away. Alright. Now, you notice our water is no longer here that we were buying and selling. That's because we are going to be producing water from the ice, and so it has been moved along. So you've got this line over here into production chain. So the ice comes down, turns into water, and that is now over here. I've gotten rid of the buy order. I don't want to be buying water when we're creating it. And the water is also going to go up into our meat production. So once this gets built, it's probably going to automatically put a buy order in there. So we need to go in and change that later. What we can do... Okay, so also we're going to be mining ore. That's going to be going into here and being turned into refined metals, which is going to go here, and that's the end of that production line. So we're going to hit that and put in a sell order. No one's going to buy it at that price. I'm going to put it down really cheap. So when we do get metal coming in here, it'll be ready for sale. I'm going to do the same with the meat, and no one's going to buy it that expensively. Yeah, we'll try that. May adjust that later on. You can put it on automatic. I prefer to set my own prices. Okay. So that's still coming. Let's see what's going on over here. Okay, so we do have some stuff. It looks like we're just waiting for... So we've still got more stuff coming in, but we've got enough stuff. We've got enough stuff here in stock to for this to begin. So we must be just waiting on the... Yep, the mammoth. He's... That's our building vessel. We're just waiting for that one to reach here, and then our building will start. Looks like our Perseus couldn't find a job. that's fine. Once some of this production gets up and running, he will do. Alright, so because I'm in my office chair, we'll hit shift 4, get setter going. Speed that up. And we should see this, yep, starting to tick over there. Okay. So that is now being built. And now we're on to the storage modules. Now we're waiting for additional resources to come in. For that. Let's see. Yep, so it's going to be the solid storage. It's going to get done next. So we can have a look here. And it has started. So once that's started, alright, let's grab our SE. Let's remove all your orders. And I'm just going to get you to start mining ice over here. We've got our drill. I'm actually going to remove your orders as well. And I get you mining some ice too. Over here. Alright, let's have a look at what's going on over here. And of course, it's got to auto-save every time something important happens. Alright, let me get over here. Who are we taking hits from? Just from the Xenon by the look of it. As long as it's not from any of the Paranid. We should be okay. Yep, looks like we're fine. Do need to watch out for some of the Xenon capital ships that'll come in here. In that case, we could get into a bit of trouble. We've got a lot of support around here at the moment. But we do need to also watch out for friendly fire and like if we've got illegal goods on us. These guys are picking up drops and they will sometimes pick up illegal goods and these guys will scan our cargo every now and then. But let's have a look. Okay, solid storage is still going. Going to activate setter again and get that ticking along. Might actually, let's have a look at our logical overview here. Alright, our research has started. So that'll be done pretty soon as well. All these guys can't figure out what to do. That's why they're orange, but once we've got some production going, that'll change. Alright. So solid storage is almost done.
Awaiting orders.
Okay. So let's take setter off for a moment. Alright, so our solid storage is now done. So now we can go in here. I'm going to create a buy order using our Oz internal. Price doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put it down as low as I can just in case. I'm going to do the same with the ore. Let's pump some cash into there. Alright. So now let's grab our drill. And you can now mine for the commander. Our SE that's got a full load of ice can also mine for the commander. So he'll go drop off a full load of ice straight away. We're currently now getting our storage built. And our research should be almost done as well. It's almost there. Should get a notification of
You
that.
should find the teleporter now has a much larger range.
Okay, so now instead of flying over to these guys, so I mean we could go in here and you can click deposit inventory, and that is going to send the ship back to your headquarters and deposit stuff, which these big ships are not going to be able to do yet until we build the pier. But that is also quite a distance for capital ships to travel. I'd rather them keep busy. But we can now...
My ship is being scanned.
And who is that? Okay. That's
Awaiting
fine.
orders.
Apply. Alright, so we now have the range to teleport directly to these guys.
Entering system. Second contact.
Let's get rid of that.
Can I help?
We can collect the inventory. We can go to the next guy. Teleport to.
Can I help?
Collect that inventory. And to the third one. And the more often we go and collect these guys' inventory, the less likely it is they're going to get into some trouble with the local police. We can now teleport straight back to our headquarters, and that's a lot quicker than having to
Grand exchange.
fly and land on those guys. Let's go back to our personal office where we can sit in our chair and control things from there, including setter. Alright, so let's have a look at what's going on here now. So these guys, okay, they've still got things in their list from the research. But what I'll do, we're going to continue this, keep getting additional range.
Discover the required materials.
Okay, so let's have a look. Right, so now they need plasma conductors, Invidium, which our miners should actually go and they should actually go and get themselves. Which will slow down our ice and our ore. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's insert some extra cash into there for the rest of these goods. Let's go back to the map. Alright. We don't need any more for the building. Let's actually just take a quick look. Quick look here. So they're still doing the container storage. Alright, that's fine. We'll put this guy just to normal trading. We'll leave this guy here because there is something else I'm going to do on our station a bit later. Alright, getting our large storage done. Once that's ready, we need to go in and change a few things. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to our logical overview now.
My ship is being scanned, awaiting orders.
Comply. Okay. Let's see. Alright, we don't need that many energy cells to be allocated in there. I'm going to change that to, say, 35. That'll be plenty, I think. Let's have a look. Alright. Okay. So, yeah, it's building our energy. So, once again, it's just a matter of waiting to have all of the things that we need for that to be built. So, we're just going to wait for the rest of that stuff to get built. So, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so we're still building our second energy cell production. We are probably going to need another miner or two. Yeah, I am pretty rusty and I'm not sure exactly which is going to be the best miner to get. Maybe we'll just grab a Talati one. We'll just grab medium size. Let me see. Yes, this guy will do. And just going to go for the minimum. Well, let's grab the cheapest. We'll add that to the shopping list. Let's grab 2 of those. Confirm the order. Okay. So now I'm going to send these guys. Let's just disable setter for a second here. Alright, so these guys can go over here. So it's cheaper to get your equipment and everything if you go to an equipment dock. So let's see, I don't know, maybe we'll give them the combat engine, all-round thrusters. You can have Mark II shields. We need mining drills. There's a Mark II mining drill, that'll do. Mining turrets. We'll give them all of the... We probably don't need to, but we'll give them all the software just in case I ever want to get on there myself. We'll give them a couple of laser towers. We'll give him a handful of resource probes as well. And we'll give him some marines. Now, once he's picked them up, we'll turn him into service crew. And they'll be getting service crew experience, but they'll have a tiny little bit of boarding ability. So let's add that to the shopping list. Confirm that. We'll do the same with this guy. Okay, I gave him the combat one. And I know you can set up a preset, but I'm still pretty lazy and pretty rusty, lazy as well. But I'm still pretty rusty, so I'm not setting up any presets because I don't really haven't really figured out what I would like as any presets. I'm just doing what's going to work for me right now. Some resource probes. Some marines. Okay. And that should do it. Alright, so how are we doing over here? Okay, so we are currently getting the luxury dock area built. So let's have a look here. Okay, so I've got our second lot of solar going there. Now that may have mucked up our storage. No, it kept my storage. Okay. So, well, it did muck up my storage. I want to be keeping... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put in 25. Because we're going to be doing some research where I'm going to be needing 25. Okay, and our miners have been mining Iridium, or at least one of them has. Okay, that's all fine for the time being. Alright, let's put setter back on, speed this up. Get that dock done. Now once that dock is built, I'm going to make a change. Okay, so let's have a look here. Alright, let's go into the plan build over here. Alright, so now that we've got the we've got our bigger dock there, I'm going to take that one out. Now if we took that one out before this was built, nothing would be able to land here. They can still land here at the moment. I'm going to put in a second one of these there now. And that should be ample parking for everybody for quite some time. So we'll confirm that change. Everything in here should stay the same. Pump in the cash to make up for that. And then this guy. Let's just reset his trading. Probably already got some outsiders coming to sell us that stuff. Alright, we're getting the big pier built. That is going to let capital ships, large ships, dock at the station. So these guys will be able to dock there, as well as some large traders that come in. Alright, how are our new mining ships going? They are still getting their upgrades. Pop setter on. Alright, so that one's done. So we are going to get him to mine for the station. And the second one is done as well. So we'll get that guy mining for the station. We also need to go in here. Okay. So let's take all of these off of Marine. Put them on service crew. Confirm. So they're all going to be zero star service crew, but they will gain service crew experience, and they're all going to have at least a little bit of boarding ability, and we might be able to use them as Marines a bit later on if we need them. Do the same with this one. Confirm that. Alright. So that dock takes a little while. Let's see how our research is going. We're still waiting for plasma conductors up here, which are coming in, so that's fine. Alright. Alright, so I'll see you in a moment when some of the rest of this is built. So he's going to finish building the pier, then he's going to go to doing our water production, and then our meat production, and then our refined metal. So I'll come back to you once this is done, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so our water production is done. So let's go into our logical overview. Okay, we are fine there. Now what I'm going to do here, if we come in over here and we tick here, it's going to show you the resources that it needs per hour, which is the energy cells, which we've already got a reserve on our energy cells that we put in earlier. we'll lower that once we're finished with all our research. But it's also going to show you that we need 800 water per hour. So we are going to put in an automatic cell amount. We're going to put in, say, 1600. We'll keep, right, we want to click in here. 1600. So that'll be enough for 2 cycles that we'll keep in stock. And actually, we might be able to, let's put automatic storage on there now that we've built our our large storage. Now our research has started, but you're going to find that these guys, some of these guys are going to have, yeah, like this one, he's got some excess NVIDIA. So we're going to get him to drop that off because it only allocated enough space for enough NVIDIA for the research. So get him to drop that off. Well, you may as well drop off your ice at the same time. But that research, once that's done, we'll do the next one, which is going to use some more NVIDIA. So we'll use that up. These guys will run out of work. That's fine. All right, so we are now working on the meat production. That's got 10 minutes to go. So I will see you when that's done in just a moment. Okay, so our research just completed. So we'll go and get the last one of those.
If you could, please gather the required materials.
And, well, we don't quite have enough cash for that. Let's have a look in here. Alright, so let's get up. Alright, let's go collect some stuff off of these guys.
Entering system. Second contact.
Can I help?
And this guy. And then we'll craft it up and sell it. Give us a bit of extra cash.
Can I help?
And finally this guy.
Hostile immediate battle. Can I help?
And let's just have a look over here. Okay, everything seems fine. Alright, so let's teleport back home. And our meat production
Entering
finished as
system.
well.
Grand exchange.
Alright, so let's go over here. Okay, let's go into our logical overview here again. And let's have a look. Alright, so yeah, it did put in a buy order. And we can't get rid of it because it's part of this production chain. But what we can do is we can go Oz internal, put the price right down. We can buy none. We're going to be creating our own. Well, we are creating our own over here. Okay, so getting some pop into there in just a moment. We'll be selling anything that's over that green marker. And our meat production has started. So that is using water and energy cells. Now this is per hour, not per cycle. So you can see the cog turning means it's working. And this little sort of the inside circle will fill up as that process goes. So this is the production cycle here that's going, not the hourly rate. But once that fills up completely, then we'll get a little bit of meat in here, which will be ready for sale. Let's have a look over here. Okay, this is still being built. Okay, but this is also why we've got a reserve on our energy cells to make sure we keep enough energy cells. We'll lower that. But this current research is going to take 25,000. So once this research is done, I will lower that to maybe 10,000. That'll make sure that all of our production always has enough energy cells. And see, now we need 2,000 Nvidium, so that other Nvidium did not go to waste. Let's pop all that cash into there. Alright, and let's craft up some more stuff here and sell it off. Caviar. Some pizza. Craft that. Craft up these. Okay.
Can I help?
Yeah, this is not going to be as much as what we got last time, but we'll sell all this stuff off. And all this stuff.
Good profit
Okay,
to you.
let's go back in here. Oh, actually, let's check our build amount. Okay, that's fine. We're just waiting for our energy cells, which are being used up by other things at the moment. That's fine. Okay, we still don't quite have quite enough. But we shouldn't need all of that whole amount in there, because some of these things, you know, it's putting the buy price of this into consideration, but our miners are not actually exchanging money. That's fine. Alright. So our water is going. And we do have people coming in to buy it. Our refined metals is still waiting on some resources. We've got some meat in there. No one's come in to buy that yet. Pop that down to 50. Okay. Our refined metal is almost about to begin. So, alright. Let's go back to the office so that we can speed things up with SETA. Oh, that's almost done. Let's just speed that up. Okay. Let's have a look in here now. So now our refined metals is working. Still waiting on stuff to come in there. But once again, when that cog fills up, it'll spit some into here. And we'll sell that off. Let's have a look over here. Okay, nobody's interested in that. Eventually the argon will buy some of that. Let's just pop the price down a little bit and see if that attracts anybody. You know, we've got enough for the full estimate there. Let's see. Okay, so we're still waiting for energy cells over here. Let's see here. Okay, how about you? And I didn't check how many we needed, but I think that was plenty. Yeah, we only needed well, actually, looks like we don't need any. So let's cancel that. Let's double check that again. No, it is showing that we do need some. And no one's bringing it in. Alright, yeah, it was 60 that we needed. Okay. Alright. So how about you grab 60? Confirm that. And we'll give it to the build storage. That should be enough to finish everything. We do have, well, all we've got left to finish now is the is that final dock anyway. Got a few bits and pieces over here too, so you're not doing anything. How about you pick some stuff up? So these are some bits and pieces that kind of get dispersed sometimes when the miners blow up asteroids. And we'll get you to deposit the inventory once you finish picking them up. And now these guys are all busy. Probably going to have enough Nvidium now, I think. So let's just get you to drop that off. You're already dropping yours off. No, we're still waiting. What are we waiting for there? Alright, yep, we're just waiting for the Theseus to come in and drop off that last 60 energy cells to finish off our second dock. But everything else is running. We don't have enough ice. That's because these guys have been busy mining the Nvidium, and that's a temporary mining activity just for our research. So once our research is done, then they should be back to normal mining and they should catch up on that. That should be fine. So we've got excess water. We've got people buying the water. The Holy Order of the Pontifex are buying the water. No one's buying our refined metals. Let's just put the price down a little bit there. Okay, we do have people coming in to buy our meat. So now we should be pretty much on the road to a fairly self-sufficient, self-sufficient and busy little production factory here. Okay, now those energy cells have come in and they're building that. Let's have a look at our manager. So he'll be starting to, should be starting to get quite a bit more experience too now that he's got heaps of activity going on. That's almost done. So that's our upgrade there. All we're waiting for now is our research over here. It's nothing too exciting. It's just going to increase our range. But yep, these guys are all pretty much busy now. This guy's still got Nvidium, so let's just get him to drop that off. Shouldn't be mining any more of that. You can drop that off. That is probably going to be enough. Now that's the problem, is that your miners, they're not going to recognize this amount. They're just going to fill up. And so we are going to end up with a bit of extra Nvidium, which is fine. We'll probably find a use for it later on. But anyway, that is our station upgrade. So let's have a look. I don't know what we can see out the window here. Not much there. Let's go to the manager's office. Okay, that gives us a view of our docking area. We can see, we'll be able to see ships coming in and going out. Alright. But that's our station upgrade for today. That is going to do it for this episode. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.